Hello guys, this is Vysh. So hope you have seen yesterday's episode where we did the question number 1 to 10 of UPSC 2020. So this is part of the 2022 revision, but everybody who is preparing for the next 5 to 10 years, you can watch this video, okay, because questions will repeat from the last 10-15 question papers. So you have to know all the previous year question. And this video is not simply telling you how to or telling you like what is the answer. Okay, we are telling you how to solve a question. Even if you don't know anything about that question, if you have minimum knowledge or if you have to apply some trick, everything is being taught here. Okay, and already 2016, 17, 18, 19 and the 2020 also was done. Okay, 2020 was done in a different way in a random order. That's why in a 1 to 10, 11 to 20, that kind of order, we are now doing it again. Okay, and 2021 also Vysh versus UPSC video is already there where 50 questions are already shown, in which 30 questions came from our test series only. So again this year we are expecting more number of questions to come. So if you are a serious aspirant and you have enrolled to Vysh, please see to that you revise all our test. Okay, because after exam if you see that questions came directly from the test series, then you will regret. Okay, CSAT also there is a playlist where a lot of mathematical questions from 2020-21 is already solved, and then revision series is also going on. Please watch all these playlists if you are a serious aspirant, and these are the packages which about which I will tell at the end of this video. So today's questions, there are many silly questions also, there are many controversial questions also. So everything I'll tell you, like how many coaching institutes told the wrong answer. Finally, when the answer key came, it was the right answer, which actually we told correctly when we were doing the Vysh versus UPSC video. So here again a silly question. If you see a parliamentary system of government is one in which what happens? Okay, like what is parliamentary form, what is a cabinet form, what is constitutional government, what is the meaning of bureaucracy? This kind of simply terminology UPSC is asking, and that too ABCD type question. Okay, every year at least two questions are coming like this. So they are just asking, like next year maybe they'll ask about the presidential system of government or a federal government. Okay, federal government is already asked, but again they will pick up these kind of words. Okay, so here if you see, all political parties in the parliament are represented in the government. You know, ours is a parliamentary system, and every political party need not be in the government. Okay, so this is a blunder statement. Now, government is responsible to the parliament and can be removed by it. So this looks true. Okay, government is responsible to the parliament also, that executive is responsible to the legislature, and it can be removed. Like you know, the Lok Sabha will have the no confidence motion and all, it can be removed. So this is a possible true statement. Okay, now the government, but never stop reading. Okay, you have to read all the statements, then only come to a answer when you have ABCD. Now the government is elected by the people and can be removed by them. Okay, people can elect, that is true, but people cannot remove. Okay, that is in a direct government, direct system it happens. Okay, ours is an indirect system, so we cannot remove. Okay, 5 years they will be there unless some no confidence happens inside the parliament. So that people doesn't do, the members does it. Okay, so this is wrong. Now, the government is chosen by the parliament but cannot be removed by it before completion of a fixed term. But this is again contradicting the other one. Okay, they can be removed but not by the people. Okay, it can be removed by no confidence motion by the other members. Okay, opposition parties. So this is also wrong. So we got the answer as B. Okay, so this kind of things already in every test series, everyone who does Lakshmikant, it's very easy thing. Okay, in our test series also it was there. What are the essential features of parliament? So here it will be there. Dissolution of lower house. It can be removed. Okay, and here executive is responsible to the legislature. That also will be mentioned here. So all these things are very basic things, but again expect, okay, these kind of things, 2 marks you have to go and score in the exam hall, else you will not reach your cutoff. Okay, because these are considered the easiest questions in the paper. This again in another test we have shown the parliamentary and presidential form. So presidential question has not come, so I am predicting this year presidential can come. Okay, because 2022 the president election is also going to happen. Okay, in India. So that is why this is a very high potential question. Presidential related whatever is there, please study. Okay, Indian president system, American president system, the election of president, everything. Okay. Now, which part of the constitution declares the ideal of welfare state? Again, a 2 mark, like blind 2 marks you will get. Okay, because if you don't know that DPSP is welfare state, then you have not read Lakshmikant. Okay, so this again, you know, fundamental rights is dealing with the political rights, but the social rights and economic rights is dealt with the DPSP. Okay, and government also follows the DPSP whenever it has to make some policies or schemes for the people. So welfare state is DPSP. Okay, so it is mentioned in multiple articles. So here again a detailed question about DPSP is there, where you have told it's non-justiciable, embodies the idea of a welfare state, not justiciable. So this justiciable point I'm showing you because one more question I'll show you where that also was asked. Okay, whether DPSP can be enforced by courts or not. One more question was asked by the 2020 question paper. Okay, so here everywhere welfare state will be there. So it's a very easy direct question. Now next one, the Constitution of India defines its basic structure in terms of federalism. And here, so here actually is two terms. One is judicial review and basic structure. But problem is both they are telling in the constitution it is mentioned or defined. Okay. So this every coaching institute that time told the answer is I think B. Okay, 2 only B. This is what every coaching institute told. But that time itself, we had told that is debatable. That cannot be possible because judicial review is that when they give something in single quotes, right? Meaning the single quote, they are expecting that this term is mentioned in the constitution, or this term is explained in the constitution, or something is at least referred. Okay, but in our constitution, it is not there. Okay, so here I'll show you the first one first. Constitution of India defines its basic structure in terms of these things. Basic structure is a judicial principle. Okay, in Keshavananda Bharati case of 1973, it was formed. There is no definition. Even in that case, there was no definition. Okay, only like Supreme Court can keep telling like, okay, that is also there. Right to life is also there. Secularism is also there. Welfare state is there. These all comes under basic structure. Supreme Court tells in different judgments. Okay, there is no proper definition, and in the Constitution, definitely it is not there. So one is definitely wrong. Okay, one is definitely wrong means this will go away and this will go away. So now it is 2 only or neither 1 or 2. So second statement, every coaching institute told it is true because Article 13 provides for the law, and law cannot be made in such a way that it will go against the fundamental rights. So it can be cancelled. But there is nothing mentioned like judicial review or Supreme Court can go and intervene. Such things are not mentioned in Article 13. But coaching institutes are going on telling this. Okay, that is why we showed you our question where we told we have a question like this: which of the following are mentioned but not defined in the Indian Constitution? Okay, this is a Vaishya's question. So here if you see, answer is 1, 2, 3 only, meaning which of the following are mentioned? Untouchability is mentioned, minority is mentioned, office of profit is mentioned, but not defined. Okay, these three are mentioned but not defined. I am telling in future questions will come from the same Vaishya's question. Okay, so these are mentioned but not defined in the constitution. They have separate act for that. There is Untouchability Act, there is Minority Act, then Office of Profit is there in the other sedition, sorry, not sedition, the other kind of things are the defection kind of thing and all, there it is mentioned. Okay, or there is defined. Okay, now if you see budget and judicial review, these two terms are not mentioned also, not defined also. Okay, in the constitution, budget and judicial review is not mentioned and defined. So this is not there, and answer will become neither 1 nor 2. This is what we had told that time. But again, many other students also came and asked like, how can you tell that it is not? But when official answer key of UPSC came, question number 13, if you see set A, it is D. Okay, it is neither. This is official answer key of 2020 set A, and set A is what I am discussing. Okay, so this is answer is neither 1 nor 2. Now, one common agreement between Gandhism and Marxism. This is a very like unusual question of UPSC because Marx related things and all in prelims is not usually asked. It comes in world history or in international politics and all, but here they have asked it. Okay, and every option is also very difficult. Like class struggle, you can think, private property abolition, economic determinism, everything, stateless society. Looks like Gandhi also, Marxism also told it. Okay, so you cannot solve it. This unfortunately we also did not teach you because we were not expecting for prelims such a question. Okay, but this time we will add it. So now when I Google, I am getting these kind of information. Okay, this is not my things. It's all Googled thing. Okay, so first thing, what is a stateless society? For your next year, maybe you will be required. A society which lacks formal institutions of government, that is called a stateless society, meaning there is no formal control or formal institution of government. Okay, now what did Marx tell? When Marx spoke of the stateless communist society of the future, he did believe that it was a historical necessity and did not therefore depend on the ethical goodness of this individual or that of the class or that. So Marxism revolves around the following theoretical propositions: a classless society and stateless society. So Marx has told many things about stateless society. Okay, maybe he has told about all these things also, but now we have to see whether Gandhi and Marx told the same thing. There is a common agreement between both of them. Okay, so again, Marx, if you see, Marx had predicted that everyone will take control of the state and production, they destroy all the class differences, then finally it will end in a stateless society. As I told, these are all Googled materials. Okay, so like this, Marx has told at least about stateless society. Now Gandhi, again, if you Google for the same thing, his concept of this Ram Rajya and all these things, like no political binding, everybody are self-governing, and everybody are aiming for perfection in mankind, their destiny they themselves will choose. So if you see here, if you again search, you will get like Gandhiji is a political anarchist kind of person. Anarchist is one who is opposed to every type of state. Okay, so thus Gandhian Ram Rajya is a self-regulating system where everyone is one's own ruler, meaning there is no state. Okay, so that is how they both were in agreement. So because I know the answer key now, I can Google and tell you like this. But in the exam hall, this was a difficult question. Okay, because of the options. Okay, so I hope you got this information. This will be useful for in the upcoming years. That is why I'm showing you this much detailing. Okay, these words like anarchist, the stateless society, all these things, make a note. Now, in the context of India, which one of the following describes bureaucracy? So this again, if you don't know, then better you don't give the exam, okay? Because you are trying to become a bureaucrat. So when you don't know what are you going to do after getting the job, then you cannot solve this. You cannot. There's no point of giving this exam, okay? So an agency for widening the scope of parliamentary democracy, meaning you will become collector or whatever, and you will widen the scope of parliament democracy. You don't have that much power and all. You are not going to do this, okay? An agency for strengthening the structure of federalism. Okay, so this may be some people told looking true. Okay, like you are in the ground level, you are going to help reach the funds from center to here, you are going to work. So this was a doubtful thing. Now an agency for facilitating political stability and economic growth. Okay, you cannot facilitate political stability and all these things you cannot do. Okay, so this also is gone. Now last one, an agency for implementation of public policy. This everyone will know. If you are preparing for UPSC, you know that you are going to implement the public policies. Okay, yesterday also I told you MP led fund and all, it will come from the MPs, then the collector or the district, they will take it and implement it. Okay, so agency for implementation of public policy, this is what a bureaucrat is going to do. Okay, so this is a basic commonsensical question. Okay, like I told, every year 1 or 2 terms will be there where they ask a ABCD question. Okay, cabinet is asked, preamble is asked, bureaucracy is asked, liberty is asked, justice is asked. So maybe next year they'll ask like fraternity, best, which is the best definition of fraternity, or which is the best definition of a presidential form of government. So this kind of question this year it will come. Okay, on June 5, expect a question on this. Now next one, the preamble to the Constitution of India is again, okay, they are just asking a definition, which is the best definition, like a CSAT kind of question. So this is a little tricky because of the wordings. So if you see, a part of the Constitution but has no legal effect, not a part of the Constitution, this you can eliminate here itself, okay, because it is told multiple times in different court cases that preamble is part of the Constitution. Only one case was there, I think Berubari case 1960, in which it is told it is not part of the Constitution, but after that every case, including Golaknath case, Keshavanand Bharti case, or maybe Bombay case, Minerva Mills case, everywhere it's told it is a part of the Constitution. So this is gone, okay, because here everywhere it is telling a part of the Constitution, part of the Constitution. Now it is telling has no legal effect. So that is a negative statement. Okay, preamble is referred, preamble is always checked by a judiciary and all. So it has certain legal effect, but what is it? We don't know. But no legal effect is a total blind statement. So that also you eliminate. Now you go to this, a part of the Constitution and has the same legal effect as any other part. So if it has same legal effect as any other part, it is meaning like it has same legal effect as even fundamental rights. But that is not true, because fundamental rights you can go to the court and fight for it, but preamble you cannot do that. So this is also wrong. It does not have same legal effect as any other part. Now it is a part of the Constitution but has no legal effect independently of other parts. Okay, meaning it doesn't have any special legal power independently of other part. Okay, so that is the most possible answer here. Okay, here these kind of questions are always you have to see which is the best possible. So A, B, C we already eliminated because of our reasons, and D you don't get any other reason to eliminate. So this is the correct answer. Okay, so these questions they purposely put it in the option D so that you get confused while reading A, B and C. Okay, last question also bureaucracy, if you see the answer was D. They purposely put it ABC so that you keep getting stuck at any of the options. But read all the options and you will easily find the answer. Now question number 17, a direct, very easy question. Reverse tranche. Okay, reverse tranche also like World Bank, IMF and all, everybody studies. So here options is we see one is World Bank, one is Central Bank, one is WTO, and only one option is IMF. So they made it again easy for you. Anybody who read UPSC from any source, any test series, any coaching, any textbook, you would have read at least once the reverse transposition system, and that is a IMF kind of, it's not a currency system but a economic monetary kind of system. Okay, so it's a very basic direct question. Again in Vysh's test also multiple places we have this special drawing right, we have this reverse transposition, everything we have mentioned here. Okay, and Google definition if you want, it will be something like this. Okay, it is a portion of the required quota of currency each member country must provide to the IMF that can be utilized for its own purposes without a service fee or economic reform condition. So if you are a beginner 2023-24 people, maybe you will not understand this definition also, but for that again watch any of a lecture of economics or do the economics basic test. Okay, now we have at least 5 test 500 MCQ that itself will help you solve. Okay, so questions like these can also happen, like which of the currencies are under the basket of IMF. So this Chinese renminbi was added in 2016, but till now UPSC did not ask it, even though yuan currency in a different way UPSC asked, but directly they did not ask. So like that, by heart this. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5, all these 5 are part of IMF's special currency. Okay, question number 18, with reference to the provisions contained in part 4. So here you just had to know part 4 is DPSP. Okay, that is very basic, you have to know. Okay, like part 3 is fundamental right, part 4 is this thing, part 4A is fundamental duty. So that basic thing you have to know, and your options are even sillier. Okay, here they're telling they shall be enforceable by court, they shall not be enforceable by court. So obviously one of them has to be wrong. Okay, and DPSP, that is the thing they are testing, whether you know whether part 4 is DPSP or not. Okay, so if it is DPSP, it shall not be enforced by any court. Okay, if it's fundamental rights, part 3, it shall be enforceable. Okay, but for part 4, DPSP, it shall not be. So one statement is gone. So when one statement is gone, eliminate this one and eliminate this one. So 2 automatically becomes correct, and that you know. So they shall not be enforceable by the court, and the principles laid down in this part are to influence the making of laws by the state. This is exactly the name also, DPSP, Directive Principles of State Policy. Okay, when state has to make a policy, these are the principles to be followed. That is why the name is DPSP. Okay, so 2 and 3 both are correct. Okay, so that again in multiple tests we have, if you see here, chapter 7 to 11, we have a test series. There we have mentioned what is part 3, what is part 4, and here if you see, DPSP is fundamental to the governance and state has to apply them while making laws. So these are directly taken from Lakshmikant. That is why it's direct. It looks very easy. Okay, so follow any test series who teaches you directly from the textbook. Okay, UPSC will not ask you anything complicated. So here again, if you see, DPSP are not enforceable in the courts. Okay, now question number 19. According to Constitution of India, a person who is eligible to vote can be made a minister in a state for 6 months, even if he or she is not a member of the legislature of the state. Okay, so very lengthy statement. According to the Representation of People Act, a person convicted of a criminal offence and sentenced to imprisonment for 5 years is permanently disqualified from contesting an election even after his release from prison. Okay, meaning he never can participate in an election if he is put into jail for 5 years or something. Okay, but such a thing is not there in Representation of People Act. Okay, it is like not, no one can be permanently disqualified. Okay, people can still come back. It's, I think, the jail term and then plus 5-6 years you cannot participate, but after that again you can come and stand in election. You know, many criminals like that come back and stand in election. Okay, so 2 is definitely wrong. Okay, I'll show that clause also, I think section 8 of this thing, Representation of People Act. And the first one, if you see, this was the one which many coaching institutes were debating, but that time also we clearly told it because it's a very simple statement. According to Constitution of India, a person who is eligible to vote, meaning what? A person who is eligible to vote is 18 years in India. Okay, even though it is not mentioned directly in the Constitution, it is 18 years. Okay, can be made a minister in a state for 6 months. Okay, if you see, suppose this eligible to vote is not there, and like a person or a member of parliament can be made a minister in a state for 6 months, even if she is not a member of the legislature or state. This kind of thing is possible. Okay, if you see this statement, who can be made appointed as a minister? A member of Lok Sabha can be made, a member of Rajya Sabha can be made, a non-member of the House, provided that he becomes an MP within 6 months, a non-member of the House, provided that he becomes an MP within 6 months by nomination. Okay, nomination or election, however, if you become an MP, meaning that time you are not a member, but you will be put there as a minister, and then you have to stand in election, and within 6 months you have to win. That is possible. But here the twist or the problem, or what UPSC made it tricky, is person eligible to vote means anyone 18 years old. But to become a member, you have to at least become 25 years. Okay, if you put a person of 18 years old as minister, suppose you put it. Okay, how will he win the election in the next 6 months? Because to stand for election, you need to be at least 25. So that way, little detailedly they asked, and this is a wrong statement. But coaching institutes were telling it as right statement and telling it as this thing. Okay, so here if you see, okay, here I think I strike the wrong one. Okay, here 2 is wrong, so this one. Answer will be, now 1 also is eliminated, answer will be D. Okay, Representative of People Act, jailing 2 years, and then if you see here, jail time plus 6 years after release. Okay, there is no clause for permanent disqualification. Okay, this is section 8 of Representation of People Act. Okay, so here if you see, everyone was telling the answer as A because they're telling Constitution doesn't mention about this 18 years and all, so 1 should be true. That is what Coaching Institute told, but that is wrong. Both 1 and 2 are wrong. Okay, and answer is D. Okay, neither 1 nor 2. Okay, by mistake I strike this in the starting of the question. Okay, so answer is D. So again question, if we go and check it, 19D. Last question, the President of India can summon a session of the Parliament at such place as he or she thinks fit. The Constitution of India provides for 3 sessions of the Parliament in a year, but it is not mandatory to conduct all 3 sessions. There is no minimum number of days that the Parliament is required to meet in a year. So this actually, they're asking you direct an article. Okay, students keeps asking like, should we by heart all the articles, article 1 to 400? That is not humanly possible. Okay, but certain things which comes in the Parliament chapter, okay, that you have to know. Okay, even though you don't know that it is article 85, even I don't know, like it is correctly article 85. Now I just googled and took it. But these clauses I know. Okay, these clauses are somewhere written or not written, that I will know. Okay, but this is, I am telling, it's directly article 85. If you take article 85, what it says, the President shall from time to time summon each House of Parliament to meet at such time and place as he thinks fit. So this is a direct Article 85 clause 1. Okay, so 1 is needed in the answer. So this will go away and this will go away. So now 1 is definitely true. Now third statement we have to see. Okay, there is no minimum number of days that the parliament is required to meet in a year. So this was debatable. Okay, many people were telling 1, 1 and 3, but when official answer key came, answer is 1 and 3 only. Okay, there is no minimum. Only thing is told like every 6 months. Okay, at least 6 months you should meet. Okay, the last session should not have happened more than 6 months ago. That is mentioned in the constitution. Okay, so if you overthink it, you will think like, okay, once in 6 months, so at least 2 times they have to meet. That kind of thing is there. But minimum number of days explicitly is not mentioned. Okay, so there is no minimum number of days that the parliament is required to meet in a year is a true statement. It is not mentioned in a correct number format. Okay, only the condition is mentioned. And here if you see, the Constitution of India provides for 3 sessions. It is not providing for. By default, we are having like, there is a budget session, then there is a monsoon session, and there is a winter session. Okay, like BMW, like this you can remember. Budget, monsoon and winter. But it is just a convention. Okay, because you have a first term exam, second term exam, annual exam, like that. Every 3 months you go and meet. There is a system, but that is not mentioned in the Constitution of India. They don't tell 3 sessions. They just tell every 6 months at least once you have to meet. Okay, so but it is not mandatory to conduct all 3 sessions. Okay, so this second statement is wrong because the first part itself is wrong. Okay, it does not provide for 3 sessions. Okay, so that was the answer. 20 questions. So 20 questions are discussed. Now where these things are mentioned in Vysh is this particular pack. Okay, pack 6, 12 polity test. We have covered editions of 4, 5, 6 in detail. Okay, all the questions are there, which I am sure last 2 years repeatedly questions are coming directly from here only. This year also it will come. Okay. And here, most of the places we have not given detailed explanations because it is directly taken from Lakshmikant. We would have given the chapter number and page number there. Okay, like this is taken from chapter 16, this is taken from chapter 18 with the chapter name, because editions keep changing. You have to know the chapter name also. That will be mentioned there. So you just have to keep your Lakshmikant beside and this PDF beside, and you will not miss even a single mark from polity. Okay, last year also I think around 18 questions came from polity. So if you are a very serious aspirant, you have to get this. Okay, and this is lifelong useful. Okay, once you buy this, entire life you can keep using it. If you are a 2023-24 aspirant, you can wait for the full test series pack and you can buy the full pack where like this for every subject you will get. But 2022, if exam is now nearing and 20 days are left, if you revise from this, I am guaranteeing you all the prelims question you can solve of polity. Okay, same like that for everything, whether it's maps or spectrum or NCERT or R. Sharma, Satish, Chandra, the full history, revision charts are there, then economics is there, important bodies is there, and current affairs. Okay, this is a must buy pack. Pack 13 is something which if you are an aspirant, you have to get it. Okay, remaining is still based on your availability, meaning you might already have books and test series from other institutions, so then you may not need this. But current affairs, I tell you, ours is a little more detailed and more reliable, so you can get that. Okay. So next I'll come up with the video of 21 to 30. Meanwhile, go and watch all these things also. Okay, 2016, 17, 18, 19. Watch everything. This will be the next episode. So thank you and have a nice day.